Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. I am so pleased to finally be sharing our front elevation landscape makeover with you guys. So we had put this white rock over some old rock that they had in these beds when we first moved in, put in a few plants, but really didn't do a ton to really manicure this space. But it's been something that I've been wanting to tackle for a very, very long time. A lot of things were super overgrown. You could no longer see kind of where the garden bed ended and the grass started or vice versa. So we knew taking up all this rock was going to be a major, major job. But because our kids were so little and we had so many projects going on the inside, we decided to put this off. But this summer was the summer to get to work, and it was just that. It was so much work. We removed all of the rock, laid new topsoil, put down a heavy weed barrier, really kind of defined the garden beds, put down mulch, and planted all new landscaping. So I will be sharing all of that with you in hopes to bring you some motivation. Because we are now in the fall months, to me, in my opinion, it's a much better time to start that kind of project. I was so hot, you guys will see. I apologize in advance. I'm hardly dressed in most of this, but it was like 90 degrees on a lot of the days we were doing this work. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope it brings you some motivation, maybe a little bit of inspiration, and also just it's pretty satisfying to watch. So yeah, let's get on with it. We ended up renting what's called a dingo from our local big box store, big box tool store, and John rented a trailer to bring it home. It's not super cheap to rent, but it's definitely, in the grand scheme of things, way less expensive than it would have been to hire somebody to do the job. Now, granted, this did take us a few weeks to do, so the whole thing, not this rock removal part, which was a giant pain in the butt, but like I said, fully worth it. If you do some research online, you can definitely find tools like this to rent, and they help out a ton.
It's nothing new, but it's so good to see you.
So as I believe I mentioned, this project took at least 3 weeks. We're still not finished, but it was so satisfying to walk away from it at the end of each day and be able to see so much progress. And I'm sure that as happy as we were to do this, our neighbors were probably just as happy to finally have something that was pretty to look at, because it's been an eyesore for a long time. We've been working so hard on the inside, it was hard to tell because the outside didn't reflect that.
More than friends, yeah. You know I'm here to stay every single day, yeah. So hold me tight.
Before we get too far into today's video, I want to thank our sponsor, Caraway Home, for sponsoring today and supporting my channel. I cannot tell you guys how genuinely excited I was to hear that Caraway wanted to work with me. I had been wanting a set of their cookware for so long, probably initially because you see it all over Instagram and there's so many amazing colors. The design is completely innovative with unique colorways and sleek pan curvature designed for function with a fashionable edge. I chose the white and gold because it looks so good with my kitchen, and no matter what we choose to do in the future, they're always going to look amazing. I don't know about you guys, but I have an old kitchen, which means it's small and there's not a lot of room for storage, and nobody likes a cluttered kitchen. That's why Caraway created iconic cookware and bakeware set exclusive organizers that are designed to fit inside every cabinet and keep your kitchen tidy and clean. They're also non-toxic, so they're designed with your health in mind. The ceramic kitchenware is free of toxic materials for guilt-free cooking and baking. My favorite thing about Caraway has to be the fact that they are non-stick. All of their cookware is made with a ceramic coating, and that means that it's got a naturally slick surface, so there's minimal oil or butter for slide off the pan eggs, easy cooking, and seamless cleanup. Caraway's non-stick ceramic coated pans are designed to stand the test of time. By using the highest quality coating, the longevity of their non-stick is guaranteed without the markup like other brands. This feature has saved me so much time. I mean, come on, you guys, nobody wants to soak a pan at the end of the night and scrub it clean just to be able to use it the next morning. If you're interested in your own set from Caraway, make sure you follow the link in my description box. You'll save 10% on your order just for using my link, and the discount will be applied at checkout.
It's just us two, me and you. Oh, 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 I can't believe you love me. Oh, 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 I just feel so lucky. Oh, 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 still can't believe you love me. Falling into your arms, dancing up in the stars. Oh, where I'd rather be than with you. Oh, oh, I can't believe you love me.
To make things a little bit smoother for John, I would go through it and rake a lot of the rock that the dingo missed, put him in piles, that way he could kind of scrape it back up again and we could get rid of as much of this as possible.
Love me. Oh, oh, I can't believe you love me. Oh, oh, I just feel so lucky. Oh, oh, still can't believe you love me.
I knew one of the biggest things to make this look manicured and really cleaned up was to pick up this old barrier here. So I got a edging tool, the one with the yellow handle. Right now I'm just kind of scooping up all of the really hard dirt so that I can get my tool in there. And then I was able to lift up the old metal barrier and reuse it. So I just needed to raise it up a little bit. That way when I laid my mulch, it would stay inside the bed and the grass would stay where the grass was meant to stay. This was super satisfying, and I was really motivated to keep going because every step I took, it looked better and better.
All at once I can see it put back together.
I found some old pavers while I was digging up. I can't even imagine. These were probably here when they built the house. And I did reuse them, but I couldn't find the same size to use them on the other side. So maybe eventually I'll replace them. But either way, it was kind of cool to find all of these. Once I got all or as much of the rock out as we could possibly have gotten, we decided to lay new topsoil. I think I did at least a couple of inches in all of the beds so that we just had some fresh, nutrient-dense soil for planting.
You could call it a vision or tell it all at once. I can see it put back together. You could call it a vision. You could call it a vision. You could call it a vision. I'm not gonna play nice. I'll be the witch you tell your friends about. I'm the crazy ex-girl you pretend you don't know, 'cause you know I could ruin your life. Rumor has it you have someone new. She'll regret you like a bad tattoo, 'cause you'll never change, you'll always stay the same. Go on and tell all your friends all about me. I don't give a nothing sticks to me, baby. Yes, hon, I'm Teflon. I don't give an F, so go ahead and tell them I'm a little bit too much for ya. Maybe you're not man enough, 'cause I speak my mind. Yeah, I spit it out. I don't care about if you think that I'm a little bit too much for ya. Maybe you're not man enough, 'cause I speak my mind. Yeah, I spit it out. I don't care about.
Eventually, when we ran out of bags of topsoil, we realized we needed way more than we thought we were going to and placed an order with our local landscaping company that was delivering our mulch. They also brought in a giant truck that dumped a ton of, literally, I'm not even sure how many tons, of topsoil into our driveway. That way we were able to just shovel it into wheelbarrows and put it in these beds. You guys will see that later. But hauling these bags from the store into our car, out of our car, into the yard, then into the flower beds was just, it was a crazy ton of work. So it worked out really well to have it delivered, and we also saved a few bucks.
Don't give an F, so go ahead and tell them I'm a little bit too much for ya. Maybe you're not man enough, 'cause I speak my mind. Yeah, I spit it out. I don't care about if you think that I'm a little bit too much for ya. Maybe you're not man enough, 'cause I speak my mind. Yeah, I spit it out. I don't care about if you think that I'm a little bit too much. Little bit too much. A little bit too much. A little bit too much. I'm a little bit too much for ya. Maybe you're not man enough, 'cause I speak my mind. Yeah, I spit it out. I don't care about if you think that I'm a
I wanted to take as many steps as possible to prevent any weeds from coming through. So I put down preen before I put down our weed barrier fabric, which was super, super heavy duty. And so far, guys, I haven't had a single weed. Knock on wood, wherever. I'm in the car right now doing these voiceovers, so there's no wood. Anyway, I also wanted to mention, I get a lot of people, not a lot, but you know, those people who just have to say something like, oh, looks like your husband doesn't do much. What a man to make a woman do all of this work, blah, 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 because it's the 50s now, you know. But anyway, I choose to do these projects because I love them, and I just, they make me feel good. I love the process. I love the workout. I love the way it makes me feel when I've accomplished it at the end. And while I'm doing this, I think I was doing this while John was at work this day. However, John is almost always the one behind the scenes taking care of the kids while I'm doing all of this work. So shout out to the guys in the background who don't get enough credit.
I do. do is say how far you wanna go. Baby, I can tell it's just for show. Every line designed to let me know. You know you're already accepted. To me, you're always picture perfect. You think you're gonna be rejected. Just say you're in love, 'cause so am I. So am I. Say that you are. So am I. Say that you love me. So am I. Say that you are. So am I. Say that you love me. When we are together, you're afraid to hold my hand, trying to understand. What if this doesn't go as planned? So you don't know what it means to be loyal and kind. I know that you're not blind. Tell me what is really on your mind.
We did not do both of the flower beds exactly like at the same time. I wanted to get one kind of set and ready to go and then move on to the next. The only difference is I laid all of this mulch before I planted because we had so much mulch in the driveway. I just wanted to get it out of the way, but it really wasn't a big deal at the end of the day. So now we're moving on to the other side, but I'm going to kind of step back and show you guys. For some reason, these beds didn't mimic each other on either side of the sidewalk. So I wanted to get rid of the old grass that was there. It was like this ornamental grass. So we dug that up, got as much of the roots as possible, and then I relined and kind of configured the flower bed to try to mimic the other side as much as possible. It ended up working out pretty well. It was pretty easy to do, and visually it just makes me happy. It was, I don't know if you have I have a thing for symmetry. Everything kind of has to be mimicked if there's two sides of something. So I really wanted to make sure that this looked visually that it made sense. So anyway, enough rambling. That's what we're doing right now. For some reason, I don't have enough footage of me laying down the new barrier. And I think that was kind of when I was going back and forth, like, am I going to continue to do YouTube or am I not going to be doing YouTube anymore? I did keep the camera out for most of this project just in case, but there were some things that I did not get on film. But right here, I'm kind of like, you can see me pointing with my finger. I'm like drawing an imaginary line of where I needed to dig and ultimately just lay that metal barrier down.
I never got it, why'd you have to go? I guess this world's too slow for you. I think there's beauty in the gray, the cold, but you just want the gold. And there's no way I can beat it, 'cause I got no chance when it comes to her. She got the glitter and the fame, and I just wasn't enough for you. Wish you could be happy, yeah, yeah. But I can't lie. LA made you crazy, yeah, yeah. You don't care what's real no more, no, you don't want me anymore. You only want what you can afford. This is goodbye, bye. LA made you crazy, yeah, yeah. I see your stories and I can't all the people you meet. Think you belong with everybody else, but you belong with me.
I know I'm going to get some questions, but this is sweet little Ollie. The boys want so badly to help and do big things when we're doing projects like this, so we let them get involved as much as they can, but oh my gosh, they're just the sweetest.
every piece. I wish you could be happy, happy, yeah, yeah. But I can't lie, lie, lie. LA made you crazy, crazy, yeah, yeah. You don't care what's real no more, no, you don't want me anymore. You only want what you can afford. This is goodbye, bye, bye. LA made you crazy, crazy, yeah, yeah. You don't care what's real no more, no, you don't want me anymore. You only want what you can afford. Don't I make you feel something? Or maybe you can't feel anything. She's not gonna give you everything.
I am also going to talk a little bit about the plants I chose and why. So there are amazing landscape architects that you guys could get with to figure out what is right for your yard, what you want it to look like, if you have a hard time visualizing it. We have one of my best friends is a landscape architect and he's super talented. But I knew that at least for the front elevation, I kind of had an idea of what we wanted to do because my neighbor had just had her entire yard done the year before and I loved the way it looked. So I actually got with her and she gave me her plans from her architect and I chose the plants that I wanted and bought them and did this part myself. But we will be going with my my good friend for the rest of the yard to come up with a long-term plan for some of the areas that I just truly cannot visualize. So anyway, these here are called Mexican feathergrass, and when they mature and they're all kind of bunched together, they just move in the slightest breeze, and to me it was so whimsical and just magical, and I love the the look that it gives her in her yard. So I wanted that as you enter onto our porch. I also chose the catmint, which are these purple flowering flower, and I don't know a lot about plants, but I think the variety is called Walker's Low. So I spaced these out, oh gosh, I can't even remember, maybe 2 feet at least, because they're gonna sprawl. The Mexican feathergrass is going to grow about 2 feet tall and really kind of clump together and look like one kind of continuous moving plant. And then the Walker's Low, the catmint is really going to kind of spread out rather unruly. I'll have to probably tame this a little bit, but I really wanted to get a full look in the flower bed. That way, in case there's any pesky weeds that want to come up, they might get smothered by the plants. The ones behind me are dwarf maiden grass, and those will get about 2 feet tall by 2 feet wide, I believe. They could even grow up as tall as 3 feet high. So once this really fills in and matures, it's going to look lovely, full of color, full of movement and texture. So the other really, really cool thing is while I was digging up these flower beds, I found an old sprinkler that was hidden underground and just behind the metal barrier here. So John went to Home Depot and he bought a series of tubing and small, tiny little sprinklers, and we created our own sprinkler systems using that one sprinkler head as a water source. So we didn't have to put in a drip line, which would have given me such a headache. This was really easy to do and super efficient. You guys will see it all in just a second.
We can spend all day in bed. I'll put the TV in the room. We'll have a Netflix marathon. Kenny G saxophone. We'll order in a bunch of food. I'll put your favorite music on all the way baritone. Shut the lights, go infrared. We can spend.
So there's one under here, and then there's one over there that I didn't know about. Oh, they're working. They're just slowly, the water, it's taking a while to get to them at first, but.
Well, that one's, I think, probably close.
Oh! Oh! Oh, I'm soaked. Yeah.
So, let's see. Is this spot getting covered?
Oh my gosh, this is so great. We don't have to water every day. Oh my gosh, I love it. How lucky did we get finding that? Guys, our little plants are going to thrive. We'll adjust this guy. Also used Russian sage right here. There's 2 plants and these are going to get huge. It's right under my kitchen window. And then these 4 plants that are in front of the rock wall are Shenandoah switchgrass. And then we threw in some rocks and some driftwood that we had lying around that we found as we've kind of cleaned up the yard from old landscaping. But I love the way this looks. If it looks this pretty already, I can only imagine what it's going to look like next summer or next spring into summer as these plants really shoot up and mature. It's going to break up a lot of the black on the house here and really give it a lot of life and just more of a natural element, which I can appreciate, especially on that harsh black wall. Still waiting on the grass. I'm sure I'm gonna have to do something here. Weeds and stuff, but it looks so much better than it did. I'm really happy with it, and by next year when they come back, all of this is gonna be so much more mature and full. Love the movement of the Mexican feathergrass, it's my favorite. But that is it. The side yard, we laid the mulch. But we haven't planted yet because we don't know what we want to do with it just yet. But at least it's not, you know, a big weed and rock patch anymore. And we still have the tubing here for the drip line or whatever, the sprinkler line that we can then extend out here when we're ready. But everything is looking really good and we're really happy with what we chose. But it'll be awesome. Next year it's going to be super full and these will flower a ton as well.